Do you love The Simpsons? Then buckle up, because today we're diving into the worst episodes in the show's history. The ones fans can't stand, the ones with the lowest ratings, the ones people pretend never even happened. There was a panda doing the unthinkable, jockey elves living underground, and even a bar rag with feelings. Yes, that actually happened. And you're about to find out why these episodes mark the downfall of one of the greatest animated series of all time. Brace yourself, this is going to be a cringe fest. Why are these episodes so hated? When we talk about the most hated episodes of The Simpsons, one question comes up: how did one of the greatest animated shows of all time mess up so badly? The answer lies in a classic American expression, jump the shark. It refers to the moment a show completely loses its way, trying so hard to reinvent itself that it ends up going way too far and not in a good way. For The Simpsons, that shark jump happened right after the legendary Golden Age, which roughly ended around season 10. That's where you'll find the unforgettable episodes: Marge versus the Monorail, Last Exit to Springfield, Homer Badman, absolute classics. But after that, something changed, and not in a small way. According to sites like WhatCulture.com and WatchMojo, the decline is noticeable as early as season 11. That's when the writing starts getting sloppy, the characters become parodies of themselves, and the storylines, well, they start to sound like wild fan fiction. Some sites even refer to this era as divisive among critics and fans, pointing out that a change in showrunner, an overload of celebrity cameos, and desperate attempts to modernize the show ended up diluting what made The Simpsons so special: sharp satire and genuine heart behind the humor. In other words, the show shifted from clever social commentary, to Homer getting assaulted by a panda, literally. And if you think that was rock bottom, think again. Now we're diving into the episodes that sparked the most outrage, embarrassment, and furious comment threads across fan forums. The most criticized episodes with full breakdowns. Alright, here comes the cringe. We're diving into the episodes that truly enraged, disappointed, and in some cases traumatized fans. And no, that's not an exaggeration. Many of these episodes are consistently ranked among the worst in the entire series, with rock bottom IMDb scores, furious Reddit threads, and brutal takes from critics and media outlets alike. Let's break them down in order of chaos. Homer versus Dignity. Mr. Burns starts paying Homer to humiliate himself in public for cash. At first, it's silly little stunts, but things quickly spiral into a grotesque display of degradation. Fans hated it because this isn't the lovable oaf we know. This is a grown man desperately selling his dignity for pocket change, including a disturbing scene where Homer is sexually assaulted by a panda. Yes, that actually aired on television. According to The Guardian and Kotaku, this episode was the breaking point for many longtime fans. It's often cited as a landmark moment in the show's decline. It shows up on nearly every worst episodes of all time list, and its IMDb rating is among the lowest of the season. That infamous panda scene became the symbol of when The Simpsons went from smart satire to unhinged absurdity.
Hey, Dad, can I have some money for a panda cone?
God, what do you do with the $68 I send your mother every month?
Weekday, Dad wanted a DVD player.
Saddle Sore Galactica. The Simpsons adopt a racehorse and end up battling a secret underground society of jockey elves. Yes, you heard that right. The hate for this episode is simple. It makes absolutely no sense. It starts off with horse racing and ends with an all-out war against elves. The suspension of disbelief thrown straight out the window. The Simpsons Wiki and Kotaku have both called this episode a creative disaster. Fans say it feels like a poorly written parody of The Simpsons, not an actual episode. For many, this was the exact moment the show completely lost touch with any form of grounded reality. Kill the alligator and run. After a panic attack, Homer drags the family on vacation to Florida, where they run over an alligator, get arrested, escape jail, find random jobs at a resort, and it all ends in complete nonsense. This episode is pure chaos, fragmented, illogical, and full of jokes that feel randomly thrown in.
This is terrible. The whole point of coming down here was for you to get some rest.
Show us your boobs!
Not now.
It honestly seems like even the writers didn't know what they were doing. WatchMojo called it a bad psychedelic trip. It's often listed as one of the most disjointed episodes in the show's history. On IMDb, it also holds one of the lowest ratings, with reviews criticizing it for aimless, purposeless humor. The principal and the pauper. The Seymour Skinner we've known for years. Turns out he's a fraud. The real Skinner shows up, reclaims his position, and then poof, disappears, with everything going back to normal. Fans hated this episode because it messes with the core of the series. Years of character development for Skinner are thrown out in just 20 minutes, and in the end, none of it matters. It's been called one of the most controversial episodes in TV history. Fans were so outraged that even the episode's own writer publicly apologized years later. Other infamous episodes: The Boys of Bummer. Bart becomes Springfield's most hated villain after losing a baseball game. He falls into a deep depression and even contemplates suicide. Fans were furious at how the show tried to force humor into such a serious theme. It has a rock-bottom IMDb score and was heavily criticized by What Culture and Kotaku. What to expect when Bart's expecting? Bart hates his art class, so he makes a voodoo doll of his teacher, and she ends up pregnant. Then Bart gets kidnapped to help conceive a champion racehorse. That's the plot. The episode feels like unfiltered fanfiction, bizarre, directionless, and totally humorless. The greatest story ever, go ahead. The family travels to Jerusalem, where Homer becomes convinced he's the Messiah. Chaos follows as Muslims, Jews, and Christians unite just to shut him down. The episode was slammed for being religiously offensive and worse, boring. It sparked public complaints and earned abysmal ratings.
Hey boy, we're supposed to be acting religious-y. What are you up to?
Reading prayers and ignoring them, just like God.
Mo goes from rags to riches. An entire episode dedicated to the origin story of Mo's bar rag. Yes, really, it's senseless, unfunny, pure filler. The kind of episode that became a meme for how bad it is. Many fans call it rock bottom for the series. Comparing to controversial episodes from other shows, The Simpsons aren't alone on the wall of shame. Other animated series have stumbled hard too. But here's the twist. While some manage to reinvent themselves, The Simpsons seems stuck in a loop of failed attempts to stay relevant. Family Guy, for instance, has aired episodes that shocked even its most die-hard fans, like the one where Stewie falls in love with his own clone, or the infamous dark comedy special involving Jesus, which triggered formal complaints. South Park, a show built on pushing boundaries, also faced backlash for episodes mocking mental health issues. Or take A Million Little Fibers, starring a talking towel. Yes, even South Park had its own rag episode, but here's the key difference. South Park knows it's being ridiculous. It's part of the satire. The Simpsons, on the other hand, were born with a soul, with social commentary wrapped in family sitcom humor. When they start mimicking the nonsense of other shows without the same creative control, the result feels hollow. According to IMDb, WatchMojo, and The Guardian, the downfall of The Simpsons wasn't due to boldness, it was a loss of creative direction. While Family Guy and South Park still take risks to provoke, The Simpsons seem to be taking risks because they've run out of things to say. If there's one group that doesn't hold back, it's the forum crowd. And when it comes to bad Simpsons episodes, Reddit and the legendary nohomers.net turn into absolute war zones. Here are some gems straight from the fans. Homer vs. Dignity made me so uncomfortable I had to pause and step outside for air. When a Simpsons episode gives me anxiety, something's gone very wrong. Nohomers.net after the bar rag episode, I stopped watching. I'm not joking. That was it for me. Saddle Sore Galactica feels like fanfic written by someone who's never seen The Simpsons. Underground Elves, seriously? The truth is, fans still love the show, but many feel that in episodes like these, it completely lost its identity. What used to be brilliant satire of real life has become a parody of itself. Many longtime viewers say The Simpsons should have ended around season 10 or 12 at its peak with dignity. But the show kept going, and along with it came the episodes that now headline every worst of list. Shocking moments that traumatized fans. The panda attacking Homer in Homer vs. Dignity is widely considered the most uncomfortable moment in the show's history. The underground jockey elves in Saddle Sore Galactica are often cited as the point where the writers officially gave up on logic, and the Skinner reset in The Principal and the Pauper was so poorly received that even the creators later expressed regret. These episodes have fueled a popular theory across fan forums. The real Simpsons died after season 10. Everything after is just an alternate universe. But is that really true? Or did the series simply evolve in a way we still don't fully understand? At the end of the day, The Simpsons is still a cultural landmark, but even legendary stories go through rough patches. The tension between nostalgia and reinvention is real. Many modern episodes tried to experiment and take risks, but in doing so, they lost the heart that once made the show a phenomenon. We laughed, we cried, and we almost jumped out the window watching jockey elves lives and bar rags with feelings. But what these episodes really show, more than bad writing, is that even the greatest creations can stumble. Now it's your turn. Which episode do you think should have made this list? Was there one you hated that no one ever talks about? Or maybe, is there a bad episode that you actually like and will defend to the bitter end? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next dive into the weird, wonderful, and sometimes traumatizing world of The Simpsons. See you in Springfield or on Reddit complaining about yet another bizarre episode. Until next time.